the way to accelerate a purchase and purchase pathways, the path to purchase, is to connect with your audience. You know that, but you wonder how to do it, right? It's like, I know I should have a stronger brand. I know I should, resonate with my audience, but I'm not really sure how. This is for you, so stick around here. So we specialize in activating emotional connection. When you know who your audience is and you can activate and sort of play the levers strategically of connection with them and delivering and satisfying the emotional motivator, then it elicits the ability to to enable the purchase, the investment, the funding, whatever that business transaction is. So that an emotional transaction always occurs prior, what we call the bounce moment in our work, prior to the commercial transaction. Okay, so the first thing to do that, to activate emotional connection, it's pretty lofty, right? Pretty hard to comprehend. It's like, you go out and network, and however you try to generate leads and prospects and close business, but how do you emotionally connect? It's not your specialty. You're an expert in what you're an expert in. First one to activate connection is clarity of the audience. Okay. Specifically what we, in our Calibrate model, which is part of the Inspire Fire brand strategy model, we look at the who is the target audience, and really getting clear on the landscape, the industry landscape, where your category fit is and what territory you can own. You really want to be number 1 or 2 in the space, or else it's not worth playing in that space. And then once you're clear, and clarity requires making a decision, like, this is the target audience that we're going after. If it doesn't work, you can make a pivot, a course correction down the line. But once you know who that is, you need to really understand them as a persona, as a market segment, but as a person, not an avatar, but as a person, and really get in their heads, their minds, their hearts, and what motivates them. And we do a lot of work with the emotional motivator of what drives them to connect, what drives them to pick you and to be brand loyal, whether it's a purchase of your lifestyle product or purchase of your services. Okay, and when you understand what motivates them emotionally, which is connection and belonging, and so much has been in the news recently about the importance of digital transformation and connection, and really, really just elevating the experience, the customer-centric experience. So the first thing is to figure out who they are and make a decision and get clear on their emotional motivators, and we help our clients do that. And then how to satisfy them is actually quite simple. And I'm going to share some of those. I have my notes over here. I'm going to share a few of those with you now. So when you know who they are and you want to trigger and throw the switch emotionally, it really happens in the integrated brand experience that they have across all touch points with you. But you need better messaging. What we see is overall, you need to improve your creative. In smaller brands that don't have really giant budgets or ad agencies, their images and their messaging is subpar. And I don't mean to be judgmental about it, but what happens is you just don't get the attention of your audience. They see it, it doesn't land emotionally, and they're on to the next thing. So you've got a missed opportunity, huge missed opportunity for growth there, right? So better messaging, what I'm talking about there is messaging that resonates, messaging that ignites connection, and bold claim messaging, almost like a billboard on a highway. There's visual messaging and verbal, and we play in that space of really dialing in and calibrating the brand voice. So what you want to look at is an image that, an image is worth 1,000 words. Well, a metaphorical, emotional image that conveys the emotion that triggers your audience is worth exponentially more. So you need to get your imagery improved, right? There's firms, just any creative is not created equal, as you know. You really need to elevate that ASAP. And if you want some help at looking at like where it's falling short or where the weakness or the meekness of the brand voice is, reach out to me. I'd be happy to help out. The second thing is just the overall creative, and making sure that that creative is consistent. So first one is clarity of the who and the emotional motivators that motivate them toward the desired action you want them to take. The second is better messaging, better brand voice, verbally and visually, and with video and audio as well, cadence and everything that goes into all the aspects of voice. And the third is consistency across all brand experience. A consistent experience, and that can relate to your messaging and your visual, right? The brand voice across all platforms. Consistency across all brand assets and all brand properties. So be congruent, be consistent, be ubiquitous in your message and in your brand, and watch your brand grow.